4K footage, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune turned off. .4K footage, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune turned on, default settings, GoPro color. .4K footage, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune turned on, color setting flat, otherwise default. .7K, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune turned off, default setting. .7K, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune's turned on, GoPro color enabled. .7K, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune turned on, color mode flat, default Protune setting. .1080p, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune turned off. .1080p, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune turned on. Color mode is GoPro color. .1080p, 30 frames a second, wide, Protune turned on, color mode is flat. So I want to see like how much detail is in it. 1080p, 80 frames a second, super view. So I want to see like how much detail is in it. 1080p, 80 frames a second, super view. .1080p, 120 frames a second, wide, Protune turned on, and we're gonna do a bottle flip. Awesome. Do it again. 1080p, 120 frames a second, wide, Protune turned on, and we're gonna do a bottle flip. Awesome. to begin. .7K, 60 frames. Yeah, 60 frames a second. Oh, fast guy, missed him. 60 frames a second. Rolling shutter, whatever. Flip it. I don't know. However. Sound quality tests, Protune at stock setting in the case, handheld. Sound test without the case, handheld. Protune turned on, stock setting. Cradle. 4K 30 frames a second. Protune is enabled and on stock settings. Lumix G7 4K 30 frames a second at standard mode. So basically standard color mode, so not flat. Using a 12mm lens. This is 4K 30 frames a second on both cameras. GoPro is set to Protune on flat mode, otherwise stock straight out the box settings. And the Lumix G7 is at 4K 30 frames a second as well. Custom flat with contrast taken out completely. See which one has a flatter profile.